I'm Lindsay Lewis, editor with Building Enclosure. I'm here with Chadwick Collins, technical director for SPRI, to chat about what SPRI's been working on lately. Chadwick, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Lindsay.
So, can you tell us about SPRI's plans to revise ANSI SPRI RD1?
Just with like any consensus standard, standards have to be maintained. So RD1 is getting some years on it since its last revision, so it's been tagged along with some of our other standards, ED1, WD1. We've identified them as our target standards this year to start the revision process, not necessarily doing things to them, but double checking them, making sure there isn't anything that needs to be done to them. And if there is, walking through that consensus process and updating them so they continue to be useful resources for the industry.
So, SPRI recently posted a white paper on lightning protection systems.
Yes.
Yes? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so that really came out of some code work that happened in the previous cycle. There was some code changes that moved lightning protection into a requirement category in certain situations, and a lot of times those lightning protection systems are installed on the edge or metal copings and those kind of things. And obviously with our ES1 and a lot of our membership, we put a lot of work and effort into making sure those edge systems and coping systems work, and introducing that variable lightning protection, we wanted to make sure all the bases were covered. And so when that code change proposal was first introduced, we reacted to it, but then we also collaborated with the lightning protection industry, and we worked with them to develop this white paper to kind of outline like best practices and really to make sure no one does any missteps that either compromises the ability of lightning protection to perform, which we want to happen, but also so it doesn't compromise those coping and metal systems that the lightning protection could be installed to. We want to make sure those continue to work as expected as well.
Now, speaking of white papers, you recently wrote a white paper on construction-related moisture and its effects on the roof. Is that right?
Construction-generated moisture. So, we all know the detriment moisture can have to a roofing system if it enters within the system. It's internal to the system. And, of course, everybody knows about if a roof leaks, moisture getting in that way. And through the life cycle of a building, if something's a little off balance, moisture could be introduced. But we really haven't seen anybody talking about moisture while the building's being built. And there's a lot of sources for those moistures. We covered those in the white paper and talked about the scope of those, really, like how much moisture could be introduced into a roof system depending on some of the variables that happen on a job site during that construction period. And so we just wanted to make the situation known to the industry so that people can take precautions, making sure they're not introducing a variable that has to be dealt with down the road.
Mm-hmm. So what else is going on at SPRI lately?
As if we're not doing enough.
Right.
Well, we are looking at revising our product category rule that is the guiding document for environmental product declarations for the single-ply industry. We definitely want to start the process and keep that up to date, as well as going into standards maintenance. Recently, in the last year, we actually had 3 standards come out. 2 were revised standards, and 1 was a new standard, MP01, which has to do with pull-out testing for mechanically fastened sheets. It's got a very longer title. I'm trying to editorialize there, but MP01 was our new standard. We had 2 other standards revised. And we recently had our annual conference in January, so a lot of great work out there. We continue to promote our DORA database, the Directory of Roofing Assemblies, and working to add features to that as well as expand the number of assemblies available in that. So definitely a lot of the things on our plate, staying very, very busy.
Yeah, well, it's great seeing you, Chadwick. Thank you for sitting with me.
Of course, anytime.
As always, visit buildingenclosureonline.com for your educational and technical resources.